I'm not going back to Haiti. Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Well, President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is off to a fast start. Fox News has learned that in a 33-hour period between Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, ICE agents arrested over 460 migrants, many with long criminal histories. But these operations aren't just limited to Boston. They're taking place all over the country.
Well, Emily, we've heard officials here in Boston and in Massachusetts say repeatedly they are not going to cooperate with ICE or mass deportation efforts by the Trump administration. And ICE says, well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to cooperate with us. We're still going to go into your city and we're going to do the job.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
On the other side of the city, this was a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested locally and is facing charges for raping a woman while holding a gun in her mouth, guys. Those are the kind of targets ICE is picking up out here.
So it's begun, everybody. It's begun. The deportation has begun its process. The mass deportation. ICE is back out and on the prowl. And this is what Tom Homan said that he was going to do. As far as like those that the first and main priority, his first and main priority are those that are not here legally, committing such heinous crimes, such heinous felonies, such heinous acts. As you can see, they grabbed somebody who had raped a woman and held her at gunpoint while doing it. The whole idea is, everybody, and I need everybody to just like really take this into consideration. There are reasons why people move. People don't want to live near certain people. Straight up facts. They want to live in an area. A lot of people live in areas and decide to live where they want to live because of who's around, who's in the neighborhood. Especially like they may select the city, but they'll select where they are based off of the neighborhood, who's living in the neighborhood, what's the crime rate, all these things. They take into consideration all these things. And to me, growing up, it was a matter of safety for my parents, for my father. They made sure we was in an environment, we lived in an area that was safe, not high on crime and whatnot. So when we moved to, when we were living in New Jersey, we decided to, well, not we, because I was younger, but my dad put us in a small city, a nice small city, fairly mixed, as far as the city goes, but he had us in an area in the city where it was safest. There was no crime. or at least that wasn't very high crime at that. There was no thief, there was no stealing. We never there wasn't a day where I knew that there were places where people get robbed all the time because I had cousins that lived in Roselle, that lived in Linden, that lived in Elizabeth, that lived in Newark. So I knew exactly what it meant to be robbed, what it meant to have people come and take your stuff. I never felt the thought of somebody coming and stealing something from our house. It was never really a concern whether we would get robbed, whether there would be, trafficking, whatever the case may be in our hometown, because our father put us in an area that was fairly safe. Do we really know what's going on in the back end? No, but it wasn't clear as day as like most of these other cities. It's kind of in the same sense where it's like people move to get out of, like when they say they're trying to get out of the hood, people want to get out of the hood. They want to get out of the crime. They want to get out of the culture that's been established in that environment. They just want to get out, which is fine. Now, this isn't a matter of just getting up and getting out and going somewhere else. This is a matter of you were good where you were at, but then people who aren't here, who don't have socials, who don't have no real identification of them being here in America, are here and living amongst you and now committing these heinous crimes. And it's like, we don't want that. I can understand wanting to provide sanctuary for a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying that this is a vast majority of everybody, which again, this is why the focus mainly is on those that have committed crimes. These aren't petty crimes that the ICE are going out and taking these people for. These aren't weed crimes. These aren't little misdemeanors that they're coming and deporting these people. These are people that committed heinous crimes. The one Haitian guy, you heard it himself. He talking about some F Trump, Biden, Obama all day. Thank you, Biden, Obama. They allowed him to come into this country. He's committed 17. Like, homie has 17 convicted offenses. Homie is a gang member. Homie clearly is not here to do any type of good in the country. If you have 17 felonies in recent years, 17, but because you're an immigrant and there's what they call those sanctions, they just allow you to get out and go back into the community. But this is, I'm still trying to figure out how this is okay, and I'm hoping somebody in the comment section can provide me with like some insight on why this should be okay, please, because I really would like to understand the thought process behind this. Can we have sanctuaries? Yes. If it was really that big of an issue, then it should have just done exactly what they managed to do with the Haitians that came in seeking sanctuary from Haiti. A lot of them are here. A lot of them have been vetted by those that are already living here. Like, to me, it doesn't seem like it's that big of an issue. And last time I checked, those individuals are on the chopping block when it comes to deportation because they came here by legal means, even though it was something that in order that Biden had executed, which is absolutely fine, but it was an order that Biden had executed. It's not a matter of, oh, the Haitians just went to the airport and then they decided to stow away on the airplanes and then managed to find their way to America. No, there was a process that was put into place so that they could be identified who is here and who they are. But when you have all these illegals that's coming cross border or whatever, and they're just being sanctioned, how are we like really advocating for these individuals? Then when they commit these type of crimes, how is that we're okay with them just continuing to be here? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I get the idea of trying to put things into Christian perspective. I know there was one thing that I had commented about on TikTok I'm going to say a couple of months ago, where there was a verse where God had told Moses that if they find any stragglers, to accept them in because you were once stragglers or you were once strangers to Egypt. And so you got to accept them in. Okay, I remember that, and I will definitely keep that into consideration. But we have things in place. The Israelites that were put into Egypt, and then God had made a way for them to then leave Egypt. I don't think that whoever it is that they found that were stragglers that decided to come in with the Israelites are just gonna commit crimes. They're not gonna be out here and try to sexually assault all the women that are there, and they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, nah, go ahead. No, because that was against customs. I'm pretty sure that they didn't have drugs, but I'm pretty sure they weren't also smuggling stuff in and out of the camps and whatnot. That's not part of customs. That's not part of the Ten Commandments that was then later on given to Moses. So yes, you can throw that in there, but at the same time, these people are here committing crimes. We should not allow them to stay here. If you're going to be here, be on your best behavior, or you can go back. And I know I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of conversations when people ask me, yeah, how do you feel about the whole situation? You know, the Haitians that are coming in, with me being Haitian, the Haitians that are coming in, and, you know, their fear that they may be deported and stuff like that. Well, the thing that I got to say about that is they were here on legal terms. They were here under the Biden program. I haven't been given specifics or words as to, you know, what they're supposed to do, when they were supposed to go back. I thought the Biden program was only supposed to be from a time period, but apparently, like, I don't see any requirements of them actually getting full citizenship or whatever the case may be. But regardless, they were allowed to be here. There's a difference between being allowed to be here and you just walking through the front door and then the leader is just like, okay, yeah, it's whatever. The Haitians that came here under the Biden program were given permission to come here under someone that's supposed to be already living here, per my understanding. For those that are just coming in across the border and you have no documentation, no nothing, no social security, you have nothing. You're essentially an unidentified person that's living here in America. I'm not okay with that. I'm just not, because it's crazy. We literally got in a car accident because somebody had rear-ended, not even rear-ended. We were in a parking lot. My wife was looking for a parking spot and the dude had backed into her, coming at full speed, just reversed, I guess, trying to find a parking spot, and for some reason didn't see her, and it hit her from the front. So it was a weird collision. But then what happened? Homie didn't have no papers, no license, no insurance, because he was an immigrant and he was allowed to go, while we had to pay for the internal damages that was going on in the car. And that's okay. I tend to also get a lot of pushback in regards to, you know, like, these are your people, your family was also immigrants. How would you say that you're not, you know, okay with the idea of these immigrants coming in? The difference between these immigrants that I'm seeing here and the way that my family migrated over to America is that we did so legally. Yes, the system takes a long time, but if that's a system that's put in place, follow the system so that you have absolutely no reason to be sent back. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's as simple as that. Most people don't want to wait. We don't know what issues that they got going on, but it's like, just because they're allowing people through the front door and they're not saying anything doesn't make it legal. You know what I'm saying? And then they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to try and figure things out for you in order for you to vote this and the third. No. And I feel like that was really just a big trump card that the Democrats were really trying to push, to have all these illegal immigrants come in and then have them be able to vote. So then they can, of course, they're going to vote Democrat because the Democrats allowed them to come in here and they provided them with shelter, they provide them with food, they provide them with money, means to live in America, which is crazy. Because, and then that's the other thing that bugs me, is that there's so many of them that just come here and that are given resources. Cool. When I know for a fact that my family came here with absolutely nothing and then they managed to get to the position that they're at now. So it's fully capable if you're not sitting here relying on the government to pretty much provide for all of your needs. You go out there and you do it. All my family members that are Haitian in that Haitian community has come here with nothing, has made it out on their own in order to provide for their families and thus for the next generations and the generations after that, which is now my kids' generation and stuff like that. And that's a weird thing. Like, I don't see other countries allowing people to just migrate like that and just having sanctions like this, to where you're coming here and there's no record of who you are, but you're just allowed to stay. I don't see that going on in other countries. But because, of course, America wants to be different for whatever reason, they're allowing these things to happen. I'm not okay with the illegal immigration. I'm not okay with the hundreds of thousands of migrants that are coming from the border, coming into America and taking up a lot of American resources, while we still have people here in America that, yes, there's plenty of people in America that chose to be in the spot that they're in. But at the same time, why are we not trying to, I don't know, uplift the people that live here before we try to go and allow people to just come in and just cause issues? That's a tougher conversation that needs to be had. But if anything, for certain, I will 100% stand by the idea of, I don't care who you are. If you're not here legally, you commit any type of felonies, any type of heavy conviction crimes, you're out of here. Just point blank, period. Why would you come to another country thinking that you could do the same mess that you were doing at your old country? That just shows weakness to me. I'm sorry. It just shows weakness to me. It doesn't make any type of sense. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section before. As always, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.